team that ever won a national championship at that school. So that's the only thing that I felt bad about that. But then, shoot, we come in there that following year, like I said, who got there, and people didn't have high expectations because there was so much change, right? Andre being the new head coach over there, Ty left, Marvin's gone. Some of the other kids graduated. We got new kids, but they're not like Scottie Pippen Jr. was no highly touted recruit kid as a junior. KJ Martin Jr. wasn't no highly touted kid. Dwayne Washington Jr. wasn't a highly touted kid. The only kid that came in with any kind of hype was Cassius Stanley. So,
wow, because you would
so
expect
that year,
everybody who's NBA's son, and that's what a lot of people outside was thinking. They was thinking, oh, they must be great. They wasn't even thinking about the coaching side that you guys had to do. And I remember speaking to you one time. We had a podcast on my other podcast, NBA Ghost. Shout out to my guys. You said they just kids, Marcus. They just kids. Right. We got to treat them the same. We got to coach them the same as we do any other kids, And
right.
So
that's very very true. So like everybody's trying to figure out everything, right? Because at that time, all those kids are new to the school. The whole coaching staff is new to the school. The kids are new to the coaches. We're new to the kids. So it was just a roller coaster. We had a good season, but we just clicked at the right time. So, winning the state title that year. We lost in the CIF Open Championship game to Mater Dei, but then after that, we ran through California State Tournament and we won the state title. That very next year's team was like, that team, you just showed up. Those kids already knew. Like KJ and Scotty, their senior year and Cassius senior year, like those guys already knew like what it took to win. So everybody just followed them. They was all about basketball. They was all about winning. They didn't care how they got things done. It was about like nobody's beating us. So we ended up winning back-to-back state championships that year. And then our third year there, that's when things got crazy. That's when Bronny came into the school. Zaire Wade came to the school. Zaire Williams, DJ Boston. And we already had Amari Bailey, who was a freshman at that time, but came in. That's his sophomore year when Bronny and them come. And that's where he took the world. That season was probably like, I learned so much from that year because that year was just like, I don't think any ever high school ever from any level, from the Mount Verge to the Oak Hills to back in the day, Crenshaw, Westchester, only kind of team I could deal with that had to deal with that type of media probably was like LeBron's senior year, but every game we played that year was on ESPN.
Crazy. I mean, much deserved. I mean, you see basketball since that point gone to such a high level that now we even have the NIL deal. Now you got,
right.
And I think it's because of this type of action what you guys did. That was Rockstar City, and I guess that led all the way up to now you being able to move on into another place. And before we get to all the stuff that happened there at Sierra Canyon and towards the end and why guys move, and always it's going to be a big move. And in case people don't know, I played at Cal State Northridge, of course, with my guy Ed. We had a couple seasons there, and Coach Andre Chevalier was also the assistant coach there at the time. So the connection with us go all the way back to college. Now, obviously these guys work together. I wasn't there. I was out here in Europe. So we still trying to get caught up on that stuff. But before we get into all that, let's speed up a little bit to Harvard Westlake and how you got there.
So Harvard Westlake came an opportunity just because it was just like, I just believe it was just a time for a change for me. Like I was at Sierra Canyon for 10 years. I felt like I did everything I possibly can over there. I learned a lot over there. I still love the school and everything, love the program and the kids and stuff. But I just felt like it was something that I just needed a time for a change, a new challenge, So Harvard Westlake came into came into like, in light and everything came down, and I had a conversation with David Revivo, who's the head coach over there. And so once we had our conversation, we felt like it was going to be a good thing for me to come join the staff. And man, he wasn't lying, man. That dude can coach like at every aspect of him being a coach. Like he fits it to a T. Like I don't think, like I think highly of him as his basketball mind, how he approaches the game, how he's able to communicate with the kids and relate to the kids, how he deals with certain situations. I ain't even talking about the X and O's and how he built the culture over there at that school, with the basketball program. And so this my last year over there, we ended up winning the California State Championship and being number 1 in California. We ended up finishing number 3 in the country. This guy, like, could coach his butt off. And I learned so much from him within the year.
How crazy is that for you to see as a high caliber? Let's say you were a high caliber player, played D1. You were probably one of the most unstoppable little guys I knew at the time, and being able to, play and coach a lot of, let's say, top prospects, a lot of big time players, especially in the internet days. Dudes get more hype off a highlight than they really are. You know what I'm saying? So you got to deal with that also.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, definitely.